the plug from a really nice reader called the 505 underscore after underscore life. I asked them if I could read their story, and they said, sure. Just make sure to tag me and, yeah, whatever they said. So, without further ado, let the embarrassment go. Okay. You and your boyfriend just broken up. Yeah, you were mad and angry, but you had no time to let that hold you back. It's now Friday, and you just got off work. After a stressful week, all you wanted to do was smoke and go to sleep. You got home, put some comfy clothes on, and got your weed bag out, and you noticed you smoked it all the other night. Hit. You then grabbed your phone and texted your plug. Me. Can we meet up? I need some bud. The plug. Yeah, I'll just come to you. How much and what's your address? Me. About 20 grams. Location XXX. The plug. See you in 20 minutes. See you in 20. Winky face. Why you put a winky face at the end, you thought. You knew yourself. You then got up and walked to the kitchen, saw how a mess it was. You played music as you cleaned. About 15 minutes later, you heard a light knock at the door. You turned down the music. You walked over to the door, looked through the peephole and saw Suna. You opened the door, and he smiled, and you moved out of the way to let him in. Nice place you got here. Normally all my buyers are low-life junkies, he said, walking to the kitchen counter. I'm glad that you didn't thought of me as a low-life junkie. Hey, I didn't say I thought you were a low-life, he said with a smirk. You rolled your eyes to his comment. You walked over to the living room table to grab your wallet, but dropped it, causing you to bend over and pick it up. When you stood up, you looked over at Suna. He was staring at you with a smirk. Then he turned around and pulled out a scale and weed. You said 20 grams, right? Yeah. You leaned on the counter and started to count your money, and handed him his pay. He took it and gave you the weed, but then he started to roll a blunt. Want to smoke some with me, princess? Oh, sorry. Want to smoke some with me, princess? You look... That was cringy. Don't attack me. You looked up at him and thought about what he just said. Yeah, sure, princess. You looked at him with a questionable expression, but he didn't respond. After he finished rolling the blunt, he lit it, then passed it. You took 2 puffs and passed it back. It went on for about 3 more blunts. You two were high. Why do you smoke? He asked, taking 2 more puffs. You two were now sitting on the couch in the living room, looking out the window. Why not? I don't really have a reason. I like to feel calm at ease and see everything with a new perspective. What about you? Why do you? To be honest, I don't even know. It's because I don't want to deal with the twins, so I do it a lot. Plus, I like feeling calm, and I don't feel stressed when I'm high. Then he looked at you. You made eye contact for a while till out of nowhere you heard him say, "You're so pretty." Then you looked him up and down and back up. Then you bit your lip. I should probably get going, it's getting late. Then he got up and started. You get his stuff off the counter. Yeah, would you like a water bottle before you leave? No, I got one in the car, thanks though. You followed behind him to the door. He turned around and faced you. Next thing you knew his lips were on yours. It took you a couple seconds, but you kissed back. His lips were soft and intoxicating. It went on for a couple seconds till he broke it. Good night, princess. It's not that bad. I don't know when the smut happened, but that's not bad. Plus, I wouldn't do that if it was a person I go to give drugs for, but so far, it's pretty good. Nothing too dangerous or bad about it, I guess. Okay. It's been yet another hard week for you. Your boss yelling and giving more work than ever. You were in your living room on the floor filling out paperwork when your phone dinged. Hey, Can I come over? Maybe smoke a little? It's on me. Yeah. Red. You went back to... Yeah, I would leave people on red. A lot. You went back to work, but couldn't focus. It's been a couple days since you last seen Suna, and you kept replaying the kiss in your head. Knock, knock. Oh. There. The knock on the door snapped you out of thought. You looked through the peephole and saw Suna. You opened the door and moved aside so he could come in. I'm sorry if I interrupted you. He was looking at the paperwork on the table. Oh no, it's fine. I needed a distraction anyway. You sat back down on the table. At the table. What is all this? Oh, it's this case I'm working on. Case? What are you, a detective? Yeah, I work in homicide. Oh, that's actually really cool. He sat down beside you and put his head on your shoulder. Are you okay? He then looked at you with a poorly smile came across his face. What's your name, princess? Wyan, what's yours? He then sat up and looked at me confused. You don't know my name? I've thought. You don't know my name? I thought I've told you it's Suna. Oh, pretty name. You want to order some food? I'm starving. Yeah, I could eat. Whatever you want, I'm down for. You ordered some Chinese, and 10 minutes later there was a knock at the door. But before you could get up, Suna walked over, answered the door, but it wasn't food. It was your ex. Who the hell are you? He sounded pissed, but before Suna could say anything, he walked in. This is what we're doing now, little bitch. You're a fucking whore. He just sat there after a few seconds. You then looked at Suna. He seemed pissed. His fist was clenched. You then stood up. What do you need? You crossed your arms. I came by to talk to you. Try to work things out, but it seems like you moved on fast. I mean, what did I expect? You're a whore anyway, so can't be too surprised now, can I? Shut the fuck up. You then looked over to Suna as he was more pissed. I'm not the one that cheated. Work things out, bitch. Please, you slept with my sister. Get the fuck out of my house. Or what you get, bitch boy. Over here and kick my ass. You started to walk over to kick him. You started to walk over to kick him out, but next thing you knew, Suna punched him in the face, making him fall to the ground. Down, straight. He then picked you up and threw him out the door and locked it. Are you okay? He said, walking to you, then pulling you close to him. He smelled good. If you say something about my scent, we're gonna see if you get it right. I don't think you did, but thank you. Thank you. You didn't have to do that. He then pulled away. He looked you in the eyes and held your chin with his finger, making you look at him. Yes, I did. No one should talk to you like that. You deserve so much. Better princess and assholes like that deserve to eat shit. Before you could say anything, your lips connected, his soft lips on yours. You kissed back, your lips moving with one another. Your tongues moved in each other's mouths. His hands started to move to your lower back, pulling you closer to him. His hands on your back, gripping on your shirt. The doorbell rang before anything else could happen. This time it was actually the food you paid, and you and Suna ate and talked. I laughed, and had a good time. We got to know each other soon. After you left, you went to bed. Not bad, not bad. You couldn't stop thinking about Suna and what happened the other day. You wanted him. You wanted to taste him. You craved him. The way he made you smile. Laugh. You hadn't been that happy in a while. He stuck up for you. And if you're being honest, it turned you on. Ding. Why did I do that? You got a message that snapped you out of thought. And when you read it, your face lit up. The plug. Hey, princess, if you're not busy tonight, you wanna go on a date? I'd love to, but where are we going? You'll see. Just wear something comfortable. I'll pick you up at 8. You were about to text back when your boss called you over and you had to get back to work. A couple hours had passed now and you had an hour to get ready. You showered and then got dressed. You wore something simple, black ripped jeans with a white shirt and a black high-top Converse. Then the doorbell rang. You finished putting on your shoes. Hey, princess, you look pretty, he said while looking you up and down. You got shy when he did. You were a blushing mess at this point. He smirked, then got closer to you and kissed you. Then you kissed back. Afterlife? What the hell is this? I'm ashamed of you. You should be ashamed of yourself. Are you ready to go, cutie? That made you even more red. You forgot how to speak, so you just nodded. You locked the door, and you two got in his car. Surprisingly, it didn't smell like weed. That's actually correct. My car does not smell like weed. You want to play some music. He then passed you the aux cord. You played your aesthetic playlist that consists of artists like Lil Peep, Arctic Monkeys, Chase, Atlantic, etc. Those are good bands. Yes, good bands. You then pulled into an abandoned parking garage, and then he drove to the top. He had one hand on the wheel and the other hand on your thigh. You stared at the way he was turning the wheel with one hand. It turned you on. I could kind of see where this is going, and it's kind of scaring me. He could tell it was because you moved your legs closer together. You got to the top. He got out of the car and jogged to open your door. You then got out and see the city. It was breathtaking. Suna then came and hugged you from behind. You then put your head on his shoulder and looked up at him. He looked so hot. The way the city lights reflected off him and the wind blew his hair. Take a picture. It will last longer. You laughed at his comment, then pulled out your phone. I think I will. You and him took a lot of pictures, funny, playful, and some simply smiling. You haven't felt this happy in a while. When then he put his hands on your waist, you looked at each other, at his eyes, the wind blowing lightly. I've never met someone like you. I've liked you ever since high school. The day you slapped me and the twins were looking at your ass that one time. I knew you were different because you're the only girl I had the balls to hit on. But I couldn't tell you how I felt. So I tried to stay in touch. Hopefully one day I could call you mine. Before he could say anything, his lips met yours. You kissed back immediately. He pulled you closer to him. The one kiss soon turned out into a makeout. His hand slid up your shirt. You then pulled away. Did I do something wrong? He then moved his hands. No, it's just, I don't really like the way I look, and I don't want you to feel disappointed, and also, I kind of don't want my first to be here. His eyes widened. You're so pretty and sexy. You have nothing to be ashamed of, love. And what do you mean, first? He then looked down at the ground in embarrassment. I've never had sex before. Partly because my insecurities, and I definitely wasn't finna lost it to my ass of an ex. I feel like I'm gonna be so bad. He then kissed you and hugged you. There's always a first time for everything, but your insecurities, there's no bullshit because you're amazing. He smiled and then looked up at him. It's not that I'm not ready, I just don't want to lose it to him. I just didn't want to lose it to him. He then smirked and kissed you again. Well, then want to head back to your place and let the night live on, and if I'm being honest, I have nothing to compare, because it's my first time too. I would be honest about that, but now as things are going, I'm getting scared. I'm getting very scared. You got back to your house. You and Suna were now in your room. He pulled you in close by your waist. He whispers in your ear, just relax, princess, and let me treat you like a queen. He began to kiss your neck softly. Then he started to suck on your neck. It felt so good. The way his tongue and lips moved on your neck. You slightly moaned, gripping onto his shirt. He got more turned on by it. I don't know if I could finish reading this. What the fuck?